Hi, my name is Ibuka, a plant icon. Some will even argue and go as far as calling me a fashion icon as well. Do you know what your problem is, young lady? And that gentleman over there seated on that couch. Your problem is that you're taking care of some of these plants a little too much. Your problem is that you're too full of love, you're too full of nurture, you're giving these plants way more attention than they are programmed to handle. Because the fact of the matter is, my love, not all plants want to be loved. Some plants want you to only remember their existence once every 6 months. Dare I say. This video is also for you, that baddie, that busy babe of society who is constantly jet setting. Perhaps you're a mother with 50 children and you do not have the energy and the time to take care of plants. Don't worry, girl, I've got you covered. And in this book, Jesus, I'm not editing that out. In this, our new book of exposés, I've come up with a list of 6 plants. I think they're about 6. These are plants that if you bombard them with even the most standard form of love, they're going to go downhill. And to make things even more practical, I've divided these plants into 2 groups. Those that truly thrive off neglect. That term, thrives off neglect, has been bastardized in the plant community and used for pretty much every plant, but there are only a handful of plants that truly thrive off neglect. And I have them in this book. And the next set are those that can handle intermittent neglect. They want you to neglect them, but not for too long. So you have to be careful with them and don't go too far. Oh, Jesus, this introduction is a bit too lengthy for my liking. So girlies, without much ado, grab a cup of coffee, grab someone, grab something, hold on to your pearls, and let's get to the nitty gritty. Now, starting off with the first group, the ones that can truly handle extreme neglect, the ones that you can even get away watering just once, dare I say even twice a year. Yes, such plants exist and beginning strong. Ladies and gentlemen, agaves. Agaves. Oh my goodness gracious. The worst thing you can do, my love, is to have mercy on that agave plant and water it frequently. No. I have an agave Victoria Regini, babes, that I've had in my care for roughly 4 years, and I can count the amount of times I have watered this plant. I rarely and barely do water her, and she's doing her thing and flourishing. Oh my goodness. Some of you may argue that this isn't a conventional houseplant because agaves, even though they are very drought tolerant, they need lots of light. In fact, one of the reasons why I love them is because they can take out hellfire intense Nigerian sun. But that hasn't stopped you, my American girlies, from growing these plants indoors. Like I've said before, you guys can grow anything as long as you have a grow light and a bit of determination. So if you're truly looking for a genus of plants that you can travel for months, dumping your connection without even bothering to water it for a month or 2, even 3, 4, or dare I say even 5, I don't think you can go wrong with an agave. There's a creator I follow on Instagram and he has beautifully grown agaves, and I think he lives in a dry, one of these desert climates in the US, Arizona or thereabout, and he legit says he waters his agaves twice a year. And I believe him. It's important to make videos like this because I think it is necessary to interject this sort of plants in our collections for our own peace of mind. Some of you, and the reason why you get so burnt out easily is because every single plant you have in your collection is a needy plant that needs to be watered once or twice every week. Babes, sometimes life happens. Sometimes your mental health isn't there to take care of this plant. Sometimes you're not even physically capable of taking care of them. So you want to have your fair share of plants you interject in your collection that you don't have to be worried about. Okay, so now this next one is another one that I didn't even know was a house plant until I saw my American girlies growing it as a house plant, which is why I keep staying. One thing my American girlies have taught me is that there is nothing they cannot grow inside their homes. I am talking about aloe vera. Aloe vera is a common basic herbaceous plant here. It is used in hair care, skin care in this part of the world. There are some people that even consume it. And one thing people don't do here is take care of aloe vera. No one is actively taking care of an aloe vera plant. Oh my goodness. No, I have 2 huge fat ones. And all you basically have to do is just dump them in a pot and let them fend for themselves. No one is actively fertilizing. I've never heard of such a thing before. You're fertilizing your aloe vera plant? Heck, you don't even necessarily need to grow it in the fanciest of soil. Mine is growing in straight up mud, and it pretty much takes care of itself. And I strongly believe that, darlings, the main reason why you're struggling with your aloe vera is because you're giving it too much care. Oh my goodness gracious, babes, dump that plant in a pot. You don't even have to get a fancy pot. Dump it in a bucket and leave it be. Leave it be. For you guys growing it indoors, obviously you're gonna need to give it a lot of light, you know, but outside of that, leave it alone. Forget you have it. Water it maybe once every 2 months, just when you remember. Some of these plants don't want to be taken care of, and you, young lady, you're doing the most. I do love my Western girlies, but I do feel sometimes in this plant hobby, you do the most sometimes. Okay, so yeah, stop doing the most with your aloe vera and dump it in that bucket and honestly let it fend for itself. During spring or summer, just carry it outside in your porch, dump it there, and you'll be surprised when summer is over, it's huge and full of so many pops. All right, so yeah, another one that no one actively takes care of, and it is a common landscaping plant here. You find it everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the Euphorbia milli. There are so many different types and cultivars of Euphorbia milli, but one thing all of them have in common is that they don't want you to take care of them. They like to be left alone. Dump them in a sunny or bright corner and honestly just let them fend for themselves. I have a couple of Euphorbia milli in my care, and I'm even thinking of incorporating more because they add a beautiful pop of color, especially for people like me that live in an oven. So if you're a fellow oven dweller and you're looking for a very low maintenance plant that you can get away with watering, dare I say, once every 3 months, you can never go wrong with an Euphorbia milli. I have also even observed that this is a plant that can take the occasional deluge or two. Because even though Nigeria gets really hot and dry sometimes, we do have a very lengthy rainy season. And in my experience, these guys can take the rain as well. So come rain, come sunshine, they are pretty much fine. I will admit, because I do have one specimen and I'm gonna show her, I love to show her off. I do have one specimen that is just growing bonkers and she's so leafy, so yummy, so full. And that's because I have her in a very nutrient rich soil. It's packed full of cow manure and she absolutely loves it. So you can have mercy. You can have mercy, maybe fertilize from time to time. You're going to see a huge difference from what I can see. But if you choose not to, the plant is going to be fine regardless. Like, I don't actively fertilize my Euphorbia millis. I only water them sporadically and they're good to go. Yeah, these are the 3 plants that I can categorically confirm thrives off neglect. In my experience, I do not know any other plants that you can neglect them for such a long period of time and they will thrive. You know, we use that word thrive very loosely in this plant community. Okay, the next group I am going to mention, okay, are those that can handle neglect, but you dare not take it too far. they're gonna start going downhill. They thrive off the occasional neglect. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna start off with the obvious madam here. This is one plant that unfortunately has been mismarketed. This poor young lady has been mismarketed as a low light plant. She's low light tolerant, but she's not by any means a low light plant. Let's get it clear. And this is also one that has been mismarketed as thriving under neglect. I want to tell you right here, young ladies and gentlemen, that even though this madam prefers the occasional neglect, please do not take it too far. If you take it too far, she is going to go downhill. This is a plant that thrives when it is neglected occasionally. All right, it cannot go months without water and moisture, my love, but maybe a little drink or two once every month and she's good to go. So she basically wants you to neglect her, but not too much. And I should know this because I've attempted to keep this plant alive on several occasions. If there is one plant I have unalived the most, it has to be Izizi. I have unalived it from caring for it too much, and I've also unalived it from neglecting it too much. There has to be a sweet balance. And as you can see, she's gonna reward you and bless you with growth if you do so. By the way, darlings, if you're enjoying this video so far, please like and share all that good stuff. And remember, this is a conversation. Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with me? What has been your experience with these plants? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You also want to check out my YouTube membership if you want to support your boy. I want to see more of my behind the scenes shenanigans. In my latest video, I document life in this third world nation. We've gone so far now 3 weeks without electricity, and the struggle has been real. If you want to find out how I've been coping, check that out in my YouTube membership. And if you're feeling like a rich auntie and you want a tip, send your boy a tip or two, you could do so with the link in my buy me a coffee. All right, okay, let's proceed. Now, this next one is a plant that I have unalived on several occasions, because just like the ZZ, I have killed this plant from caring for it too much and from also neglecting it too much until I found a sweet spot. Hang on, let me hold her because I'm proud to show her off now. She looks beautiful. Girlies, I'm talking about the Peperomia obtusifolia. This is the longest I've kept this babe alive and the happiest a specimen has ever looked in my collection. She's branching off. She's doing her thing. Let me see if I can hang her here. Oh, perfect. So this is the longest I've kept this babe alive and thriving, all because I have realized that this is one that wants you to neglect it. But like I said with the ZZ, not for too long. So basically what I do is that I just water her when she's completely dry. And she's just doing her thing and has been so unproblematic so far. And it has made me realize that maybe some of these peperomias that we're having a hard time with, maybe we're taking care of them a bit too much. Maybe. And I'm tempted to explore more plants in that genus, because fun fact, when I first started collecting plants, peperomias were my favorite genus, but we all know how that always ends up in disaster. Yes, the Peperomia obtusifolia, if you've had a hard time keeping this babe alive, you're either caring for it too much or neglecting it way too much. Water when it is dry. And then as far as light is concerned, I am growing this babe outdoors underneath my huge ficus audrey plant, but I don't think it's one that needs a heck ton of light. Medium light will pretty much do. Guys, I'm actually tempted to permanently hang her here. Like, I feel like I'm such a crazy plant person sometimes that I can actually go ahead to permanently leave her here on this swinging chair. Let me know if that's a good idea. It's probably not, but let me know your thoughts. Now, this next one is not here with me, but I'm going to see if I can insert B-rolls. I'm talking about the Hoya Canosa Compacta. Oh, Jesus. As somebody who has killed Hoyas on several occasions, I'm a notorious Hoya unaliver. I have come to realize, and I don't want to generalize it for all Hoyas because they are such a wide genus, a huge and wide genus of plants. But I've come to realize that for some Hoyas, some, and the Hoya compacta is a perfect example of that. Please neglect them. Please neglect them, but not for too long. A safe spot with the Hoya Canosa and with every other plant I'm going to mention here is to water them when they are dry. You can stretch it for another week, perhaps even 2. But don't go further than that, I would advise. Don't leave them to stay dry for too long, and certainly do not bombard them with too much care and attention. That is how I have lost some of these plants, and the Hoya compacta is one such plant I have lost. And for you guys in the States, it's a very common and inexpensive plant, but for us here, it's very expensive and rare. So I have quickly learned that some plants enjoy neglect, some more than others, and you have to just observe them and know when to draw the line. Now, there's one more I need to mention. Oh, Jesus Christ, that plant. I feel like if plants could sue, that plant will sue all of humanity. Because there has been so much misinformation about it that a lot of people honestly struggle to keep it alive, even though it is a very easy plant. I'm talking about snake plants. And I take this personally because I live in the native range of snake plants. A couple of the snake plants you grow are also native to my country, and I consider a snake plant a fellow Nigerian like me. So yes, please, I beg of you, snake plants can handle and will even thrive under some level of neglect. But this is a plant that doesn't bounce back from extreme neglect. It can go a week or 2. You can even stretch it to 3 weeks without needing moisture. But if you keep stretching it further, and if you develop the habit of going months, 3 months, some of you have not watered your snake plant in 6 years, going months without watering this plant, one day you will water it, and after you watered it, it will literally say, "Thank you for giving me my last drink," and it will just turn to mush. And I should know because this always typically happens with a lot of my snake plants that I grow indoors. Part of me will occasionally stretch the limits of neglect, especially for the snake plants in my living room, which causes them to perish as a result. So my loves, if you want your snake plant to actually thrive and to be long-lived, water that babe whenever it is dry. If it dries out every 2 days, top her up with water. And if you must subject her to neglect, please ensure that you don't do so for too long. All right. So my loves, we have come to the end of this video. I really hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, all that good stuff. Honestly speaking, it hasn't been really easy for me to make YouTube videos with this whole electricity situation going on right now. I hate having to come to lament to you guys. Honestly, that has been the case. The generator noises, I've not been able to have a good and proper sleep. But I still want to shop for you guys regardless. So I'm really hoping that you found this video useful. And please just go out of your way to engage with it, like, share, all that good stuff. If you did, that's your own little way of supporting me, and it's completely free. All right, my loves, I'm going to see you in the next one. Let me actually take this babe down. Yeah, because this is not gonna work. Let me take her down. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.